Major support for Out to Lunch is provided by the law firm of Jones Walker, established in 1937 with over 375 attorneys in offices throughout the U.S., providing a comprehensive range of services to a local, national, and international client base. JonesWalker.com, and by the Alliance Safety Council, delivering instructor-led on-site computer lab and online training through more than 100 authorized training providers in 31 states and 2 countries. Headquartered in Baton Rouge, Alliance is focused on the future of learning technology and training process innovation for business and industry, for safety and other corporate training needs. More information is at alliancesafetycouncil.org, and by Short & Associates, legal recruiters in Louisiana and Texas. And Orange Theory Fitness, delivering fitness results for a healthier world.
From Mansur's on the Boulevard in Baton Rouge, we're out to lunch with editor of the Baton Rouge Business Report, Stephanie Riegel. It's business, Baton Rouge style.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Riegel. Welcome to Out to Lunch. What we define as the workplace is changing today. A growing number of entrepreneurs are working out of the house or their cars or the neighborhood Starbucks, which has created opportunities for others to provide them with the spaces, services, and tools that they need. It's all about carving a niche for yourself and teaching others how to do the same. And women entrepreneurs seem particularly gifted in this arena and in helping others find their niche and their goals. Joining me today is Blair Couatre, who with her husband Dustin Clouatre owns a business called Mera Salon Suites, which is like a co-working space for aesthetic entrepreneurs. Mera rents out space in its state-of-the-art salon on a weekly basis to beauty and wellness professionals who want to go out on their own but don't necessarily want to have all the expenses and headaches that come with owning a salon. Tenants in Mera not only get their own washbasin, counterspace, cabinetry, and mirrors, but business support like Wi-Fi, marketing, utilities. Blair is a native of the Baton Rouge area, and before opening Mera in early 2018, she was in sales for a home health company. Blair, no doubt this is a lot more fun, probably less stressful too, and you're helping people. So it's a pleasure to have you here today on Out to Lunch.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
With me and Blair is Elena Keegan, owner and head instructor of the Baton Rouge Yoga Company, which provides on-site yoga classes and wellness workshops designed to increase employee productivity, mental and physical health, and well-being for optimal workplace performance. The yoga company's clients include large corporations, local businesses, and even a couple of governmental agencies. Elena has been teaching yoga since 1996. Before that, she actually began her career teaching Spanish. So teaching comes naturally to Elena, and it's a pleasure to have you here today. Thanks for joining us. Well, Blair, I want to start with you. This Mera concept, co-working space for hairstylists or people who do facials. This is not your unique idea. This is a growing trend around the country. Am I correct in that?
Correct, yes. This is a growing trend. Just like, for instance, in Austin, they have over 27 different salon suites. But this is the first luxury salon suite in Baton Rouge.
Very cool. And is Mera a franchise operation, or you and your husband came up with this idea and this name on your own?
No, it is not a franchise. It's my baby, and I've grown it from the bottom up.
That's wonderful. What does the name Mera mean?
Mera means beautiful lady in Greek.
Oh, so that's a very apt
Yes,
name.
Absolutely.
For what you do. And so who are your tenants? I mean, you've got hairstylists mostly?
Correct.
Or?
So inside of Mera, there's 20 individual suites, and these ladies run their own business out of Mera without the headache of utilities, Wi-Fi, stocking bathrooms, having a front desk person, having security, and everything like that. So inside of Mera, we have several different hairstylists. We have a custom airbrush tanning, and she does airbrush tanning and aesthetics. We have a massage therapist. We have several estheticians who do dermaplaning, hydrofacials, lashes, microblading. We also have a body sculpting company that does like the red light therapy and different things like that inside of Mera.
So that's great. And so it's sort of like a one-stop shopping. And
correct.
They pay rent to you, right?
Correct, yes. So they rent their space out. It's at least 1 year lease, and they it's weekly rent that they pay me.
Not bad. Very good. Well, Elena, while Blair has a co-working space, you're sort of bringing your talents and your skills two workplaces as a yoga instructor that really is specializing now in the corporate wellness space.
Absolutely. There are several wonderful progressive companies here in Baton Rouge that offer on-site wellness yoga classes in efforts to deal with the workplace stress. As we all know, everyone is stressed.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anyone can say that they don't have stress. Yet there are very little resources or structures or practices at work to help employees manage stress.
Right. Now, you've been around, I mean, the yoga company you founded more than 20 years ago?
1998, really.
Perfect. So a little over 20 years. And you were a pioneer in those years, I suppose, particularly in a market like Baton Rouge.
Yes, when I first started teaching yoga in 95, there were less than 10 yoga teachers in town. Now there are probably over 100.
Oh, I know, so many.
And in 97, I had my first child, and I wanted to still teach yoga. And I started teaching yoga at Episcopal High School in Baton Rouge as a stress management class through the PE department, which was a fabulous class for students. I think we need to bring that back. And then I started reaching out to local companies to see if they wanted to offer classes to their employees. And I started with Blue Cross Blue Shield, and we've just grown from there, yes.
And then do these companies actually give their employees time off during the day for you to come in, like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or do they have to squeeze it in early morning or late after work?
It differs at each company. For example, at Blue Cross Blue Shield, the class is from 12 to 12:45. So that is during their lunch hour. And if someone only has a half hour for lunch, then they work it out with their supervisor that they can come a little early, or they just fit it in so that they can be there for those 45 minutes. So it differs. At some places, they get to leave for lunch at 11:30 to come to yoga. So 15 minutes is all that it takes up of their lunch, and then they have time to eat lunch afterwards. So.
And where in a company do you do this? In the break room or the boardroom? We move the chairs
anywhere
out of the
we
way?
can. A lot of boardrooms, lots of media rooms, conference rooms. Yes, anywhere that we can find a place. That's what I tell people. If you have a place, I'll be there.
So, Elena, let's say that Out to Lunch wants to do some yoga.
Okay.
What's the first step when you come in? How do you know what we need, looking at Grant and Eric and I here, and how do you taper it for the individuals, and what's the ultimate goal?
The ultimate goal is to provide as many worksite places that are offering stress management. When I approach a company about offering stress management, any company that would like to have yoga-based stress management in their workplace, if they come to me or I come to them, I will come and do a workshop for their employees, whether it's a lunch and learn or a half-day workshop, part of their retreat. And I kind of get everyone to stop and think about the effects of stress. Are you managing your stress? And then let them know what's going on and how long-term the effects of stress. And then that kind of inspires them to want to try the yoga classes. And that's how we start. I go and do an inspirational kind of talk. I explain how I got started. And I got started because of a personal experience with stress myself.
Okay.
In 91, I lost my brother and my father 8 days apart from each other, both to heart attacks.
Oh, my goodness.
And
So sorry.
when I looked around at my family history, we had heart disease and diabetes. And I started researching, okay, what's the best thing to prevent this and keep yourself well? And all arrows pointed to yoga-based techniques, slow, deep breathing, stress management, calming the nervous system as a way to heal and keep the body strong and resilient. And so I went and trained for 2 summers, lived in an ashram, and
Wow.
I wanted to learn the classical, authentic style of yoga, and I knew I would come back here and make it my own for a corporate setting. And so I absolutely love to do this. I love to work with people to make sure that they're thinking about their own well-being.
That is so great. And I mean, the health and wellness space just continues to grow, and that bleeds over certainly into what some of your tenants do, Blair. How easy or difficult has it been for you to attract them to Mera?
So at Mera, our concept is a little different than a normal salon suite. We are the first luxury salon suite in Baton Rouge, so it does bring a lot of girls to our location. At a normal salon suite, it's pretty much just business spaces, leasing out spaces. Where at Mera, it's a very luxury, high-end concept. We have a concierge on staff during the busy times during the week. So when your client comes in, They're taken very well care of. They're also educated the whole time on all the different salon and spa professionals that we have. So we keep these women just coming back every day for different
So
things.
you're sort of cross-marketing, in other words.
Absolutely, yes.
So that's good. So do you, and I guess if you're the only one in town doing this, there may not be much comparison, but your rates would be a little bit higher, I suppose, being a
Correct.
high-end
Yes, so
salon.
since we are the only luxury salon suite in Baton Rouge, our prices are a little bit higher than your normal booth rent that you would. So, like for instance, a hairdresser, a stylist, if they have a booth rent at a particular company, our prices will be a little bit higher, but they have their own private lockable space, 24/7 access, all their utilities, Wi-Fi, marketing materials. We have an app that we created for Mera that people can use to do their booking. Also, we have a salon coordinator on staff, and that helps them, with the pricing and getting new clients. We help with their social media, marketing, and we also have an education coordinator on
So
staff.
you'll promote all of your tenants online or
Absolutely,
in
yes.
traditional media or a little bit of
Yes.
both?
Just like this past Friday, we had our grand opening, and we had over 200 people attend this event. And instead of us just having like a sign-in table, I made these little special cards for them where every single person had to attend every single suite and kind of figure out what Mera is about, and then they put their name in for the raffle. So it just kind of creates a lot of people in and out of Mera, and just keep these girls as busy as possible.
So how much does it cost if I wanted to rent a space, a luxury suite?
It just depends. We have several different options, so they start from $330 a week and go up from there.
You're listening to Out to Lunch. I'm Stephanie Regal. I'm talking to Blair Couatre of Mera Salon Suites and Elena Keegan of the Baton Rouge Yoga Company. Elena, how do you price your yoga classes?
And
I guess it depends on the client. And
It really
the
depends on
size
the
and
client.
everything.
Some work sites provide the class for the employees. Some work sites split the cost with the employees, which I think is a good idea.
Yeah.
And then some places just let me use the space and the employees pay for 100% of it.
What's been more successful in your experience?
It's about the same. It works either way. I think the 50-50 is really good because then the employee values it more. But the places where the company pays for it, they value it just as much. So,
And this brings up a couple of things that I'm so interested in, because I know there's a lot of competition in this space, but like every trainer that I've come to know over the years, and now yoga professionals and wellness professionals, they all want to get in this corporate wellness space.
Mm-hmm.
And not only because it's a trendy thing to do, but because insurance companies are starting to pay for this. Am I correct with that?
yeah,
bit.
there is something in there that says that they'll pay for wellness, but it has to be certain parameters. So, yes and no. I've been researching that myself. Why I feel like employees should be able to write this off as a healthcare expense, because it's certainly effective and preventative for health and wellness. The research is there that
Yeah.
people who practice mindfulness-based, yoga-based techniques have lower health indicators, for heart disease and high blood pressure and many other diseases, anxiety. There's everyone is so stressed, and it's showing up in our health.
Why do you think we are so much more stressed? Is it because of the fast pace, the digital distractions?
Yes, I think we're all outwardly focused. We've lost a connection with ourselves to be present and mindful and to breathe. And the breath is our built-in mechanism to create balance in the mind and body. It just is. When we breathe slowly and deeply, not only does it create a relaxation response, which is like the holy grail of wellness.
Yeah.
The relaxation response is the holy grail of wellness, and it comes from slow, deep breathing. And a lot of people don't know that 70% of the toxins in our body are released in the lungs.
Wow, that's
So-
a lot.
And stress causes us to hold the breath. And that is not good for us. We have got to learn and teach everyone, our children. It doesn't matter how old you are, we all need to learn to be able to be more aware and practice slow, deep breathing. In fact, I've created an app for it. I don't know if you saw that. It's,
There you go.
My Awareness Coach on iTunes. Help
Okay.
you remember to breathe. But the other thing I want
Now that
people to know.
sounds like a joke. No,
Right,
but
sure.
it's not. It's
sure.
serious.
We breathe enough to be alive, right? We
Right.
do. Of course, we're all here, we're all breathing. but we don't exhale enough, and that's where our body is releasing the CO2 and the toxins in our body. So 70% of the toxins in our body are released through the breath. 40% of fat burn in our body also occurs in the lungs. People don't realize that. And so it would make, yes, slowly. And so people, can you lose weight just by breathing slowly?
I'm just not breathing.
Slow, deep breathing. And I wouldn't go so far as to say you would lose weight, but you certainly enhance your body's ability.
So, okay, so you tell me all this, and I'm a company CEO, and I'll come in, and that's great. But I want to see metrics. If you're asking me to write a check to you to make my company more productive, and what can you actually show them about, and I mean, not just national statistics, but does your company have statistics that show the effectiveness that your programs have had on local companies, workplaces?
I wish I would have documented it from the beginning. It is, I remember in my training, the research was that for every dollar a company spends on this, they save 7. And just recently, I've been doing research that, like Aetna, I don't know if Aetna, their CEO is really big into this, and they've measured that they save about $3,000 per employee per year in absenteeism, productivity, and healthcare costs.
Wow.
So, but the bottom line is people they feel better. They just feel better.
Yeah.
I mean, you feel better after you've practiced yoga or some slow, deep breathing, and you're more productive. I mean, people are so stressed. How can we do our job if we're stressed all the time? And our mind stress is a habit as well.
Right. Oh, I know, and you get addicted to being
to
stressed.
thinking that you're stressed, and therefore you just don't do as well. You don't think as clearly. You don't act as efficiently, and then your health starts to suffer. So it's a snowball. So it makes sense.
Now, is running a yoga business stressful?
I would say I have created the most wonderful business. We go on site. I have no overhead, and the teachers.
You have instructors.
Yes.
Do you actually employ them, or they just
Yes.
work like contractually?
They're contractually.
Yeah,
so
that's
that's
nice.
fabulous. It's fabulous. And I pay well because it's corporate, so I really don't have any trouble getting instructors or subs for my classes, and it's very rewarding to work in the corporate work site because everyone has been sitting all day. They come and they do stretching and they leave. They have a 10-minute deep relaxation with a little temple rub and aromatherapy.
Nice.
So
like
it's
the temple rubbing on aromatherapy,
yes,
definitely.
Yes.
You're listening to Out to Lunch. I'm Stephanie Riegel. I'm talking to Elena Keegan of the Baton Rouge Yoga Company and Blair Couatre of Mera Salon Suite. Blair, I mean, it's got to be stressful for you to be running a business with 2 small children. I mean, you came from a business background, but how do you know how to do all this? And you found real estate and you've outfitted it to be luxury suites.
Right. I mean, I would say I live a very crazy life. My little ones are always running on the salon, but I have a really good support system, my family and my husband. I rely on them a lot.
Do you actually work at the salon, like running it and helping manage your tenants?
So I have a concierge staff, a team of girls who help with all the walk-ins. They help with the tenants if they have any issues. So really only the things like if an air condition is not working, something
right.
small
So
and
you're not
minor.
there all day.
So I'm not there all day, every day, but I am the leasing coordinator for Mera for now. And since we still do have a few suites still available, I normally am there every day with meeting with people.
Okay. Now you keep using the word girls and ladies. Are there any guys that are in Mera as tenants?
No, I wish we would get one. I'm looking for a good barber, but
I
just haven't found the right man yet.
Okay. So how do you market for your clients?
So we just started marketing actually last week. We were waiting for our big grand opening and waiting to get a few girls in. But right now we're really just using Facebook as our number one marketing tool.
Yeah.
We actually have a special right now. If you sign a lease with us before April 1st, we give you $1,000 towards your suite for rent credit.
Wow. I was just wondering if they all put into a pool that would maybe go towards marketing programs or campaigns or anything like that, or if you just take it out of your rent revenues.
No. So honestly, I just take it all, just because I want Mera to be so branded, and I'm just so picky and particular about every little thing that I just have a great marketing firm that I use, and that's just something, a hit that I take.
Is there a situation at all where maybe some of your tenants compete with one another?
So honestly, in the salon suite concept, this is more engaged to girls who have a very good clientele. So
Like an
it's-
already established
correct.
one?
Yes,
Okay.
an already established clientele. So it wouldn't be someone coming straight out of the straight into the industry that would move into a salon suite. So there is times like where, we have 2 microblading artists, we have 2 lash artists, where they might compete for somebody if we have a walk-in or something. But generally, these girls do their own promoting for themselves, and so they stay pretty busy with their own clientele.
And Elena, what about competition in your sphere? I mean, you mentioned that there were just a handful of yoga instructors when you started, and now I'd say there are at least 100, and so many yoga studios, and as I mentioned, so many people getting into corporate wellness. Is it your name and your brand that keep you?
A lot of it's word of mouth.
Yeah.
I often do, I'll volunteer and do talks at conferences. Like, for example, an HR conference I do once a year. Different organizations ask me to come in and talk to their people about stress management, and that's how I generate business. And I haven't felt a lot of competition. We have some really great yoga studios in town, and I think that they list that they offer corporate yoga. I don't know how many of them are doing
Actually
it.
do, right?
Right. So, but the sky's the limit. Baton Rouge has a lot. I mean, I'm only one company. I really feel like as a culture or a community, we really need to teach our people to learn how to manage stress.
Mm-hmm. Well, and certainly the practice of yoga seems to be growing here. I mean, I've been going to different studios here for years now, and every one of the classes are more and more crowded. But I suppose that's good because it grows the market, and a rising tide lifts all ships. Right?
Exactly. I like to see that. The more yoga being practiced, the better.
Yeah. Do either of y'all have any plans to go national at this point, or regional, to expand beyond Baton Rouge or even elsewhere in the state?
It's absolutely an option for us. So.
That's what you're looking at? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. We will try to franchise Mera one day.
Okay. What about you, Elena?
I don't have plans right now to expand nationally, but I certainly could. I mean, it's the model for the way that I run this company. The model for that would be fairly easy to replicate.
Yeah.
So that's a great idea. Thank you, Stephanie.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. I want a cut of it when you do. You said that you really don't have any overhead costs, so I suppose you haven't had to go out and seek financing for,
No.
right? So that's never been an
I just
option.
have liability insurance and, the cost of running a business because it's a self-employed. So, but yeah, so it's a really nice model.
Yeah, that's great. What about you, Blair? Did you all have to go out and get financing for Mera, or did you just get a traditional bank loan?
No, we just been saving up for Mera.
Okay, well, that was good then, right?
Yes.
And your husband, I know, is a partner in this. What exactly has he done to help launch this business? Is he everything?
Yeah, pretty much everything with the construction phase of it, and just helping me with getting permits and making sure that everything is completed in a timely manner. We had a November 15th deadline, and he sure kept me on schedule and just kept everything up and rolling.
That's great. Where do you hope to be in 3 to 5 years?
I hope to have at least 15 to 20 more companies or schools, or really what I would love to do is go back and do the stress management in the school system. I haven't approached anyone with that yet, but I see a tremendous need for that.
Yeah. And are other school systems around the country receptive to this?
Absolutely. I mean,
We're seeing more and more of this.
yes. I've read several articles recently. Even I believe it's in the New York Times recently that in England they've now made it part of the curriculum to teach children mindfulness at ages 3 to 5, so that they just grow up learning to use their breath to manage stress.
Wow.
So that, because there are positive and negative ways to manage stress. And if we can teach our children early on to turn to their breath when they feel stressed or when they feel strong emotions or, or whether they need to sleep, whatever it is, the breath is really our greatest resource. It's the most important thing we do, literally.
In the next 3 to 5 years, I would like to see another location for Mera, possibly in Baton Rouge, and definitely one outside of Baton Rouge.
That's great. Are y'all just sort of improvising as you go, or do you actually have business plans that you follow?
We're following a very strict business plan just because my husband's really funny about that.
And really, and maybe really smart about that
Yes.
too.
So I do have plans to reach out to more companies to offer stress management and yoga to their employees. I usually teach my classes at noon, and so before and after that, I still continue to work in the field of wellness on Louisiana's Wellness Initiative, Well
Okay.
Ahead Louisiana. So that's kind of kept me busy as well. But I do plan to enroll more companies in offering on-site yoga.
Well, Elena Keegan and Blair Couatre, you both represent new ways of doing business in our new economy, and it's great that y'all are able to do what you love while also helping other people do what they enjoy and look better and feel better all at the same time. So very inspiring. Thanks for taking time to join me today on Out to Lunch.
Thank you.
It was fun. Thank
for
you.
having us.
My guests today on Out to Lunch have been Blair Couatre of Mera Salon Suites and Elena Keegan of the Baton Rouge Yoga Company. You can find out more about Mera Salon Suites and Baton Rouge Yoga Company by going to our website, itsbatonrouge.la. The producer of our show is Grant Morris. Our technical producer is Eric Merle. Our associate producer is Peter Raschuti. And our Baton Rouge business consultants are Charlie D'Agostino, Dave Winwood, and Ann Edelman. If you want to know what we all look like, you can find photos from this show on our website, itsbatonrouge.la, and on our It's Baton Rouge Facebook page. You can hear this show and past episodes of Out to Lunch wherever you get podcasts, including Spotify, and at itsbatonrouge.la. Out to Lunch is a production of INO Broadcasting for itsbatonrouge.la and WRKF 89.3 FM. I'm Stephanie Riegel. Thanks for joining me. I look forward to meeting you again next week around the table here at Mansur's for more business Baton Rouge style on Out to Lunch.
Out to Lunch Baton Rouge is recorded live over lunch at Mansur's on the Boulevard in Baton Rouge. Mansur's is open for lunch daily 11 to 2, for dinner nightly, and for brunch on Saturdays and Sundays. Mitchell Foreman wrote and performs all the music on Out to Lunch. You can hear Mitchell's music anywhere great jazz is sold or streamed, and at mitchellforeman.com. Major support for Out to Lunch is provided by the law firm of Jones Walker, established in 1937 with over 375 attorneys in offices throughout the U.S., providing a comprehensive range of services to a local, national, and international client base. JonesWalker.com. And by the Alliance Safety Council, delivering instructor-led on-site computer lab and online training through more than 100 authorized training providers in 31 states and 2 countries. Headquartered in Baton Rouge, Alliance is focused on the future of learning technology and training process innovation for business and industry, for safety and other corporate training needs. More information is at alliancesafetycouncil.org. And by Short & Associates, legal recruiters in Louisiana and Texas. And Orange Theory Fitness, delivering fitness results for a healthier world.